my son and his gang are going to tune in here pretty soon. I haven't seen him yet, but my wonderful cousin Cindy Lemus is here. My adorable sister June, she's here. She's the fastest typer. So you'll be glad to know that we're not going to just take the first thing we see tonight. We might have a choice because nobody can type faster than June. So that's not fair. She would always have the first answer. And also, hi, Patty DiMatteo. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Bessie. Hello. Hi, Christine. Miss you at dance class if we ever get to go back. I don't know. Let's see. Whiny, he's out there. Mendo Chet. Is that our Chet who comes to all our shows? I'm not sure. Anyway, you've got the hang of the chat. Doug went over that with you pretty well. And so type your comments in there. We're glad to see them. We want to tell you that we might start a minute or two later and we might go a few minutes over because we've planned a couple extra things that we didn't do last time. The how to donate information is also on there. You can send a check to P.O. Box 1353 Mendocino, that's Doug's, or you can do a PayPal to Ken, and you know, I'm on Venmo, I'm on Cash App, all that. So anyway, if you want to help donate, we're still hoping that we get to do a show in November in real time on a real stage, but we'll see how that goes. We might be doing this for a while. We're also broadcasting right now on YouTube. So you can go there, or if someone's, would prefer to do that, or you can watch it later if you have to see the speech tonight. So anyway, I just wanted to say hi to everybody. I'm going to turn it back over here to Doug. And in a couple minutes, we're going to get started. Love to all of you. So glad you're here. Thanks.
So folks, we're just about to start, and I want to remind people a couple things before we go official, and that is that we will likely do a show again on August 1st, on Saturday night, August 1st. So for those of you who have friends or whatever who would like to see that, we'll be back then. And we also want to remind you that there's lots of ways to see shows over time. Hopefully we will get back. We have November dates at the Matheson Performing Arts Center at Mendocino High School. So there's still hope that we may get back. So ladies and gentlemen, we've reached 6 o'clock. Marshall, are you just about ready? Joshua, are you just about ready?
Yes, I am, Doug.
All righty. Thank you, Joshua. Joshua, by the way, is coming to us all the way from San Francisco. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Hit and Run Theater Under House Arrest show. We will be having a variety of skits based on your suggestions and a few songs as well. And we'll be coming to you for suggestions down in the chat zone over there. So, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from San Francisco, please play some more Joshua Raoul Brody. Joshua Raoul Brody, all the way from vaudeville, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for him. Beautiful ending, Joshua. And so let's hear it for our other players. We have a full lineup here tonight. We have all the way from our Georgia Peach. Let's hear it for Mindy Ballantyne.
Hey.
Hey.
And coming to us from Maryland, from the border state, way above, he's been a Californian for years. Let's hear it for Mr. Ken Krause.
Hey.
She hails from Mendocino, and she has a very loyal family who comes to these shows, whether they're on stage or online. Let's hear it for Jill Lemos.
Yeah.
She's our last from Lancashire. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Burnley, England, Janet Atherton.
Sorry,
I'll get there.
It's a long way.
in the loo. There you
The
go.
host has stopped it for some reason.
All right, good. Thank you,
I'll get
Janet.
there.
So, ladies and gentlemen, he grew up right next door to me, and we've shared many jokes over the years. Mr. Dan Sullivan.
The amount of jokes we've shared has been ranging from the 100s to 200s. We haven't got an exact number.
And ladies and gentlemen, she's been with Hit and Run Theater longer than I have. Here, let's hear it for Kathy O'Grady. And ladies and gentlemen, a former paintballing champion, a wisecracking tall guy all the way from Portsmouth, England. Let's hear it for Robin Warman.
His eyes.
A man that can make an entrance, that's for sure. Also, I want to remind you all that our fabulous tech meister for tonight, and who has been helping us out a huge amount, he's been running things for us, Marshall Downtown Brown from Snap Sessions. Let's hear it for
Hey,
Marshall.
Marshall.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to tell a story together this next bit. And this is a classic situation where we're going to do what they call a tag team monologue. Somebody's going to start the monologue in character. We will tag them out and continue the monologue at that point and continue narrating forward. So given that, what we'd like from you is a genre that has a lot of potential for big characters, something like horror, or science fiction, or pirate. What might be a genre you might pick for that? I see some coming up right now. There's one that says sci-fi, and here's one that says noir, memoir, there you go, Korean medicine. Korean medicine, that looks like an interesting one. Let's see if we get a couple more. Western zombie. Maybe we'll start with Western zombie. That seems like a real nice place to start. Those are some great ones, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. So Western zombie, this story, we'll see what happens. Tag team monologue.
I was just minding my own business at the saloon. As the sun was going down, I started to hear things. I started to believe that I saw a whole mess of people walking real slow towards my little sleepy town.
They all had that kind of funny walk. They all had their arms splayed in different directions. They all wobbled kind of as they came down the street, and I knew that Dodge City was in trouble.
And I looked at that parcel of people, and I saw Lefty O Tex. And I said, Lefty, you were shot 2 weeks ago. I saw you fall myself. What are you doing with this parcel of weird looking people walking down the street? And he said,
So I thought to myself, well, I don't quite understand you, but okay then. I guess I'll be seeing you later at the bar that you're headed to. So,
It
yeah.
was at that point that I was realizing that I was having a very amicable conversation with Lefty Otex, who was really acting kind of funny. And at that point, I realized his ear had fallen off. And then before I even knew it, his
Before I knew it, his ear fell off, one arm fell off, and then I couldn't understand his ooh. I pulled up my phone and put on my zombie translator so I could know what happened and to find out how I could avoid having the same thing happen to me. It looked like I couldn't touch them. And here I was with no gloves, no mask. I think they were gonna come
Get me! So I knew that my able to save me. And I pulled it out and I started blasting zombies, body parts.
Blasting and blasting and blasting, I was going all over the place trying to find them zombies. Where's them zombies?
And I ran back into the saloon and I said, come on now, town. If we want to keep surviving, we need all of you. Get your guns. Get
We
your
need
hatchets.
all of you. We need all of you right now. Because, you know, I think something just as bad is going to about happen to me. Because my hat fell off. And I'm exposed to the sun. And that doesn't agree with my very short hair and my naked head.
And we all know that while a zombie apocalypse is very serious at all times, there isn't in fact anything quite as bad as the negative effects of a bad sunburn on the top of your head throughout the whole of your life.
Zombies don't
And
care.
that kind of effect that
Zombies do not care.
they do not care. And I just felt that after I had talked with the barkeeper, after I had thought about the effects of my UV rays on my delicate dome, I thought maybe it was time to move on out of the West.
But then I realized that zombies are afraid of tumbleweeds. And I knew the wind was blowing that night. So I looked outside and suddenly I seen a bunch of tumbleweeds coming down into the valley, knocking zombies over left and right, zombies flying, body parts going.
And they were trying to run away, but in the same way, when you see zombies chasing people, it's kind of slow and methodical. It's just the same when they're running away from something. They just can't get away from them tumbleweeds. They're just rolling and blowing after them. It was total chaos. It was total chaos.
So after them zombies tumbled away, I still had some of that tumbleweed in my pocket. So I rolled myself up a big old fatty and had a celebration.
And curtain. All right, let me get rid of those zombies, ladies and gentlemen. So good. That's one of our famous special effects. It's known as a virtual background, ladies and gentlemen. So voila. Okay, thank you. So there endeth the zombie tag team monologue, and we appreciate that. So what we'd like from you now is we're going to do a quick series of what they call instant scenes. And what we'd like from you are perhaps some household objects that we can do this, do these scenes with. So a couple of household objects. I see egg beater. Okay, I see toilet plunger. I see coffee grinder. And scissors. Okay, good. Well, we've got some. How about if I take egg beater, toilet plunger, coffee grinder, and scissors? So I see crackpot. Who's that, Weisenheimer? Crockpot. Thank you, Jeannie. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for our first scene, we'd like, I see that. Let's give Ken and Jill a shot at this one. And let's start out with egg beater. Take it away, Ken and Jill.
I don't know. It doesn't seem to be beating the eggs anymore.
Well, it looks pretty good. And if you're gonna do my hair color at home, you really need to froth it up.
Okay. Do you think I should have taken the shells off of the eggs first?
Would you put a few more shells in there? I'm trying to, blend the gray in. It's been so long since I've been able to have my hair done.
Calcium's good for the hair too.
Yeah. I was thinking some turmeric. That might have, a little golden color.
Okay. And a touch of cayenne. That'll put a little red in it.
That'll be perfect. And I have these martini glasses right here too, that maybe if there's any left over, since it's all natural, maybe we could try that out.
Raw egg smoothies, my favorite.
And curtain. Thank you very much. That was Egg Beater. Egg Beater. Let's try Janet and Dan. And your word is toilet plunger.
Have you located the toilet plunger like I asked?
Freddie. I was too busy enjoying the engagement party to go looking for toilet plungers.
That's Gertrude, that's the 5th engagement party that you've gone to this week, and we certainly are lacking in toilet plungers, but we are bountiful in engagement parties that you seem to have on the books.
Yes, I do enjoy having a few tipples and looking at the happy couple and all the presents that they get. It's always fun times, don't you think, Charlie? Freddie?
You know, I enjoy solstice parties just as much as the next guy, but I managed to only make it to one a year. And it seems like you're just at this point finding people to go to their engagement parties. And when I say the toilet isn't going to unclog itself, I mean that like alarmingly.
Freddie, but we put together the prenuptial agreement, remember? That was not one of my chores.
I know you were a little meticulous about the prenuptial agreement. I thought we were going to be talking about things like our finances, but you had to put toilet plunging and location of aforementioned toilet plunger in there. And I just got to admit, the stress is kind of getting to me a little bit.
Well, ever since I had that accident when I was a little girl, it's never been the same for me. I just almost, my hair and the toilet plunger, I'm sorry, can't do that anymore.
You know what? You're right. How about we start over again? I will start going to these engagement parties with you, and all of our bathroom needs we will do at the venue, never having to use our toilet again.
And curtain. All right. Thank you very much, Dan and Janet. And Robin and Kathy, you're up for our next one, which is coffee grinder.
No, the coffee just doesn't taste right today, honey.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of weird because, I mean, I feel like we did everything just the same. Are you making a comment about the way that I grind the coffee? Because I know I've taken that responsibility on and I'm happy to do it. I know that you have bad wrists. So repetitive strain syndrome or whatever it's called.
Yeah. I don't know that the grind has anything to do with it. Maybe it's old, maybe too much time in the freezer. That's a hint.
Yeah,
too much time in the freezer, not enough time. Not enough time out on the porch.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm afraid you're going to have to be a bit more direct with me because, we've been together for 15 years now, and you know that I don't drink coffee because it makes me too excitable, and I have to go to the bathroom all the time. So, to be honest, if there's some nuance that I'm not doing right for the coffee that I make you every morning,
So I was kind of bringing up the coffee thing just as an excuse to start this conversation, because the reason I mentioned the freezer is because we haven't had sex for quite a while.
That is statistically accurate. It is.
And curtain. Okay. Thank you. Good. And for our final scene, we'll take scissors for Mindy and myself. So take it away.
Daddy, where are the scissors?
Well, I've hid them from you, Lily. I I've been worried about how you just cut up everything you see. I mean, you're incredibly fast. You're the fastest scissor kid around. I'm going to enter you in the Scissorama competition, but I can't let you have them all the time.
But Daddy, I want to make you a birthday card for Father's Day.
Are you going to do that little snip up curly Q thing that you do?
Yeah.
Okay, Lily. Lily, you talked me into it. I'm going to get you some scissors here, and you can go ahead and play with them. There you go. See
Thank
how
you.
good it is?
Yeah, those are good ones, Daddy.
Yeah,
I
they
can
do.
cut.
Go ahead.
Can I cut your shirt to put it on the card for you?
You can cut my shirt, Lily. You can cut my shirt. Let me give them to you. There you go.
Thank you, Daddy. I'm gonna start cutting right now because I love you so much, and it's your Father's Day birthday party.
Oh, wait a minute, Lily. I've got to wear this shirt. Now you're fast. I know you're fast. Yeah. Ow, ah, ooh, ah,
It's gonna be good, Daddy. You're gonna like it. You're gonna
And
like it.
curtain. Thank you very much, Lily. Thank you, Mindy. Thank you, Joshua. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for our next scene, we'd like to do a person on the street. And for this one, what's an important question for our time? What is an important question for our time? We're going to go ahead and use that, and we're going to have somebody going down the street and picking things up. So an important question for our time. Anybody got that there? Okay, what does summer solstice mean? Oh, that's an interesting one. Mask size, do improvisers' lives matter? Will we survive Tulsa? That might be a good one. Go straight to Dad. Okay, do improvisers' lives matter? What does summer solstice mean? This might be a good one. We'll take that one. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to be heading out onto the streets of Caston and Main Streets. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Mendocino on the Street. My name is Doug, and I'm here with a cavalcade of interesting people. I know that, there's a lot of people out there wondering, here we are, we've reached the summer solstice. It's a wonderful time of year. And I know there's a lot of people walking by, and let's find out what they think about that. Oh, good. It's good to see you, ma'am. What's your name?
My name is Cosmelia Stargazer.
Cosmelia Stargazer. What a wonderful name that is. How did you get that name?
It was dropped onto me from the heavens when I was but a wee snapper.
So in other words, you had hippie parents. Is that what you're saying, Cosmina?
You might call them hippies. I just call them extraordinary.
Extraordinary. Did they take you out into nature a lot, Cosmina?
I'm always in nature. Nature is me, is we.
That's wonderful. I like that sentiment. That's very great. Now, perhaps you know something about the summer solstice. Maybe you could tell us what the summer solstice means.
Ah, the solstice, the most wonderful, longest, meeting shortest, in-betweenest day of the year. And this year, although the solstice is usually on the 21st, for some reason, everything is all upside down. And now it's on the 20th this year. I believe I can tell what will happen if you ask. Concentrate and ask again. I'll have to talk with you later once I find out.
Well, it's been wonderful to have you, Cosmina. Thank you very much. Boy, what a spiritual journey that was. I know there's other people coming right along here. And, oh, good. Hi, how are you? What's your name?
Pretty good. My name's Geralda.
Geralda, are you a local or where are
Oh
you
yeah,
from?
look. Albion.
Albi, oh yes, of course you're a local.
Yeah.
Well, great.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I hadn't glommed on there.
Yeah.
So you live here locally, and have you been here a long time?
Well, I've been here. I was born here.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Would you say that you're kind of into nature, into making things work and so forth on the land?
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
Mhm, mhm.
Pretty
Well,
much.
perhaps you could give us some insight into what this change of summer, what does the summer solstice mean?
Well, the summer solstice means, a lot of things to different people. So, in my particular case, because, I was born here, I ran around naked when I was a kid. I went to the river all the time. I have a real sensitivity to the sunlight. And so, this is, basically pretty much the worst day of my life
Yeah, I can
because
imagine that. Yeah,
there's been more sun, and it's hard to go to sleep at night.
yeah,
And, I just worry that, my skin's just going to kind of frizzle and fry.
yeah. I could see that. I could see that. Well, you sound like you're a very aware young woman, and it's great to have you here. And I wish you well.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
You should cover up too,
Yeah, I should. I've got it. I've got an invisible one. I promise you. I'm constantly wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
All right, good. And let's see, there must be some other people coming through here who could give us perhaps some ideas about things. Oh, good. Well, we've got two gentlemen coming up. We'll talk to you first then. Sir, what's your name?
My name's Pascal McTaffy, transplant here from Barstow.
Haskell McTaffy, and you've transferred in from Barstow. Well, Haskell, it's good to have you here. What do you do down in Barstow, or what did you do, and what are you doing here?
Well, I mean, the reason I came up here was, honestly, just really kind of liking the climate and everything. Really, just sort of into just the overall generosity of everyone, the kindness and everything like that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the chips fall where they may, and really can't speak too much else on that. But yeah, like the people.
You seem like a very scruffy guy to me. Are you would you call yourself scruffy?
No, I don't usually call myself scruffy, especially since on my birth certificate it says Haskell and everything, and so I feel like if I call myself scruffy, I might get confused. But just give 110%.
Well, good. Now I can imagine you're here for the summer, probably getting away from that hot Barstow weather. What does the summer solstice mean to you, Haskell?
Well, I mean, honestly, summer solstice and winter solstice are, they all kind of are the same to me. I like the spice more in the winter solstices, and I usually try and use those blue corn chips that I found. Those are good. I really like those. Although I got to tell you, when it comes to the summer solstice, I really enjoy using just some good old classic Fritos.
Well, wonderful, Haskell. It's been great to meet you. I've had a wonderfully incoherent 2 minutes, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Haskell.
Yeah, you just got to take it one day at a time.
Great, great. Well, I've got one more chap coming down the road there, and I wonder who. Well, get one more question in. What do you say? Oh, hi, sir. What is your name?
Hey, man. I'm Justin. Hey.
Justin. Great to have you here. And where are you from, Justin?
That's a good question. I mean, you can probably tell from my accent I'm not exactly from around here, but this is where I ended up, like this is where I feel as my spiritual home. Yeah, I think this is my spiritual home now. Huh?
Good.
Yeah.
So you grew up maybe in England and you came to Mendocino and you found it more to your liking, more to your taste?
Yeah, like long ago there was this thing, you may have heard of it. It's called Back to the Landers, and
right.
I'm personally, I'm not precious. Like I don't want to be overly protective of that phrase, but I feel like back to the landers 2.0 is what's happening right here. You know, like there's people, they're growing vegetables, they're making sustenance for themselves. And, you know, I mean, I picked this lavender bush right from my own garden today, you know, and it's
Great. Great.
fantastic.
Well, if you've got a lavender bush, you must know a lot about nature. What does the summer solstice mean to you, Justin?
Well, that's a big question, you know, like it means so many things. I think, I guess above the obvious celestial elements that it means, I mean, I won't bore you with those obvious details, but I think on a more practical sense, it means that it's mosquito season here. And my soft English blood just reacts terribly to the bite. So that's why I have this, you know, a bit of preventative measure here to just kind of usher away these insects in a way that is non-offensive. You know, maybe it's the smell, but maybe it's the flapping. I'm hoping that it's the gesture that will make them understand and they'll go away.
Well, I join you in wanting to put an end to flapping. Thank you so much, Justin. I appreciate that. It's been wonderful out here. We've learned a lot about the basics of summer. We wish you all good night and thank you very much, and take it away. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for our next bit, we're going to play a bit called Monkey in the Middle. And in Monkey in the Middle, there's going to be 3 players, and the middle player will play with both other players and do 2 different scenes. So that person will be Mindy, and she'll be playing with Janet and Ken. So for one scene, we'd like something to accomplish, please. What might something to accomplish be? And then also a reason to celebrate. So those are our 2 ask fors. Okay, something to accomplish would be a trip to Mars. That sounds like a good one. Occupy Mars. And writing a screenplay is a reason to celebrate. So Occupy Mars and writing a screenplay, ordering pizza. Those are all very nice. Because I like space stuff, I think that Occupy Mars might be nice for the first scene. And maybe ordering pizza might be nice for the second scene. So Mindy's in the middle. She'll be there. So the first scene will be about occupying Mars, and the second scene will be about ordering pizza. And we'll go back and forth on the word switch.
Well, we've about used up this planet. I think we should probably go and occupy Mars now, don't you?
Yeah, well, thank God we're part of the 1%ers, right?
Yeah, we can afford it. Us and Elon.
That's right. SpaceX, here we come. Let's go to Mars.
Yes, indeedy. Well,
Bye-bye, losers. Mm-hmm.
Switch.
Oh man, what a great party that was last night.
Bye-bye, losers. Yeah, like, see you later. You know, that was so great. It was a great party and it was great to leave.
Oh, I got a bit of a hangover though, I gotta tell you, I'm feeling it a little today.
Oh, you still look gorgeous, baby. I love those glasses. Did Tommy give those to you?
Oh yeah, man, they're feeling fab. They're helping. It's so bright out here today. I'm starving. I always feel hungry when I'm hungover. What about you?
Switch.
Well, I'm feeling kind of hungry today. How about you?
I am feeling kind of hungry. I hear that they've got new pills down in the commissary. The new pill, they have a vegan Salisbury steak and mashed potatoes with no milk. And they also have a smoothie or something.
I don't know if I could eat that much.
I know. It really expands in the stomach. But
Yeah.
we got to keep our strength up. We've got to go swimming and golfing later, right?
Golf. Yes, indeed, golf.
Yes.
Switch.
Golf. Indeed, golf. You were golfing out there on the putt-putt. It was like black light putt-putt. Girl, I don't even know what you were doing.
Love that mini golf, man. I was just riding that wave. I think it was the third Jaeger bomb that really did it for me, man.
Or
But
the
I
fourth
was
mushroom. Dude, oh my God, you were going crazy.
Oh, superb. Superb. Listen, so let's get back to today. I'm really feeling pizza.
Yeah, pizza.
Switch.
That's it.
Yeah. Pizza pills. That's the best. Do they have pepperoni or maybe? I know a lot of people don't like it, but I kind of like the ham and pineapple.
Switch.
Well,
Ham and pineapple. I kind of always like that one.
no way. I mean, I like Hawaii, but they ruined pizza, man. No, that is gonna make me chew.
You're a bit of a purist, ain't you? I know you. A bit of a purist.
Oh, pepperoni.
It was probably that last drink you had last night, too.
Switch.
It was probably that last one you had last night too, huh?
Yes,
By
well-
the way, how do you know when it's night here? Because it's always dark and stars. I don't understand on the way to Mars. You know what I'm saying?
I do. That's why I'm really glad that I paid the extra $1 million for the windows that you can make it go nighttime or daytime. It's wonderful. So now, even though it's always dark outside my house, I can just push the little button. You should pay for it. It's wonderful.
Switch.
Just push a little button and pay for it. Just get on your phone and order it. You can do that stuff now. You don't have to even.
Okay. We could do that, but I could also do with a walk, man. I need to walk off this hangover. We could walk down to the local bakery. You can choose whatever you want off the board there.
No, I'm not walking nowhere.
Switch.
Nope. I'm not walking nowhere. Space
Well, we don't
walks
have
are not
to.
in my whole regime. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen.
Well, we don't have to, because luckily here on Mars, we have these little belts that we can wear and they just vibrate away our fat.
And curtain. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to have a dance interlude now with the fabulous Joshua Raoul Brody. Take it away, Joshua.
Hello, everybody. It's time for the mid-show break, where you get a chance to get off your seat, show everyone your midsection, and exercise along with the cast of the Hit and Run players. What we need from you is the title of a dance that has never been danced before. Hey, Rishi, if you want everybody to read your comments, change it from all panelists to all panelists and attendees. I see Tango. That is a dance that has been danced before, but an excellent suggestion, Mendo. Tango on Mars. That would be different. Let's do the giraffe. What do you say, guys? The lovely Hit and Run dancers. Feel free to do this at home if you want. Do the giraffe. The giraffe. Get tall now. Eat some leaves.
Thank you very much. That was lovely. Joshua and the hit and run dancers with the giraffe. So what was it? The line was get tall. I love that.
Yeah.
That was lovely. So ladies and gentlemen, what was that, Joshua?
What else would you do if you were a giraffe? What else would you do if you were a giraffe?
That's wonderful. Thank you, Joshua. What lovely. Joshua will be back in a little while with another scene with some music with it. So for the one we'd like to do next, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like the title of a Russian novel that has yet to be. So if you think about Dostoevsky, maybe you think about Tolstoy, these grandiose War and Peace, the brothers Karamazov, your Cat's a Mutter, I see. Okay, well, that was a classic. The brothers Smithsoft, thank you very much. The golden-haired oligarch, Raskolnikov in Love. That would be incredible. That'd be the golden-haired oligarchs like in Crime and Skateboards. Crime and Skateboards. I think that's a good one.
I like Crime and Skateboards.
Crime and Skateboards. So Dan will join me in relating this Crime and Skateboards, this famous Russian novel. He was a teenager at best. He was useless. I had groomed him to take over the farm, but no. Ivan Mikhailovich, you are worthless. But he was good with moving objects.
Moving objects has always been my thing. But Sergei has always stood in the way of that. Every time I want to move an object, he would always say, "This is a crime." It wasn't until I started applying wheels to objects that he turned on me, that he turned on family.
He started slowly, Ivan Mikhailovich. One day he put wheels under a large bale of hay. It rolled slowly. I was impressed, but I thought, this is perhaps more work than it is worth. Then he found a little board that a beaver had been gnawing on down by the lake. He then brought this little board back and he put wheels under it, and suddenly it was rolling across the steps. I was very impressed.
I could tell that Sergei was impressed, but it was a certain lack of confidence that made me feel like I was just being thrown under bus. I wanted to dream a bigger life than Papa gave us. I wanted to apply wheels to all kinds of things, not just limited to flat surfaces. I wanted to apply wheels to silly putty. I wanted to apply wheels to printing presses, juice squeezers. Sergei, I felt like he was resentful of my talents.
One day I was in the house, the dacha where we all live. Suddenly I felt the house slowly rolling along. I thought, what has happened? I looked outside. Ivan Mikhailovich had put wheels on the four corners of the dacha. We were slowly moving toward the lake Negushki, and we were rolling right down the road. He was next to us. I looked out the window. He was on one of his new skateboard contraptions.
I looked at him and I said, Sergei, look what I have created. I can pull the family out of the pit of misery that we live in. And we can look up to the sky and say, Papa, look what we have become. But Sergei just looked at me with a sense of disdain and disgust.
My disdain and disgust was earned, for we were rolling right into Lake Negushka. Meanwhile, him and his grandiose plan, Ivan Mikhailovich, he roared away on his skateboard. And I had to get the water and the mud out of the house. But as I looked away, I knew this lad had some future.
Not unlike Philo Farnsworth, inventor of television tubes. Some months later, Sergei and I sat down, and it was the car plummeting into Lake Zagushka. that he said, maybe not everything must be wheels. And it was at that point I knew my brother knew who I was, because he said, maybe sleds on ice and wheels on land. We are now millionaires.
Who's to argue with money? And curtain. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Rarely seen Russian epic right there for you. So, all right, thank you very much. Well, I know you guys are big on tech because you're here with us tonight, so you must know a little bit about the Kindle. I think that's something you've probably heard of. So, what we'd like for this next bit now, which will involve a Kindle, is a reason to go to the store in a time like this. What might be a reason to go to the store in a time like this? So anything we come up with, this will involve a Kindle in this scene. Mouthwash, I heard, is to get TP. Cat food, mouthwash, cat food, TP's in there again. To see other people. Okay, good. To see other people. That might be an interesting one. And this is a reason to go to the store. And what we'd also need from you, since Jill will be reading from her Kindle, she will be reading Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. She'd like a page number to read from. A page number, say from 1 to 100. 58, I see, 58. So Jill will start on page 58 with her Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. And once again, the ask for was to see other people. Take it away, Jill and Ken.
So it's good to see you again, Macy, but what's been going on lately?
I see that you have had some great trouble.
Well, yeah, the pandemic, I guess you could call that trouble. But what, I came here to the store and I didn't expect to see you out. What are you doing out?
What on earth can be the matter?
The matter. Well, you don't have a mask on. I noticed that. Why are you not wearing a mask? I thought here at Mendoza's that they wouldn't let you in without one.
Yes, I rather think he is coming to consult me professionally.
Huh. Consulting you professionally. Well, considering that you've been unemployed since this whole thing started, what profession are you talking about?
I shall be most happy to look into any little problem which you may submit to me.
Well, okay. One of the problems that I've been having is that I can't find yeast in this place. They seem to be out of it all the time. What can I do as an alternative to yeast?
No doubt you must think me mad.
I'm starting to have my suspicions about that, but I just need something to make bread with. What can I do it with?
Pray compose yourself, sir, and let me have a clear account of who you are and what it is that has befallen you.
Has it been that long? You really don't recognize me? I mean, we're in the same neighborhood. I would think you would at least remember me from a few months back.
I feel that time is of value. That is why I hastened here when the police inspector suggested that I should secure your cooperation.
Oh, the police. Nowadays, I don't really want to involve the police in anything. You know what I mean?
That is why I was so out of breath, for I am a man who takes very little exercise. I feel better now.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Listen, it's really been good to see you, but I'm feeling like we're really not connecting on any level here. Do you have anything I can take with me so that I know exactly what you feel?
I have been informed that you are in the habit of advancing money.
All right, if you need a loan, let me see what I got in my pocket here.
It is absolutely essential to me.
All right, all I've got is 55 cents. That's enough for a stamp?
I should be happy to advance it without further parley.
Okay, well, there you go. It's been good to see you. And listen, if you come out to Mendoza's again, give me a call. Let me know. Maybe we can meet up.
I should much prefer to have it so.
and curtain. Thank you very much, Jill and Ken. So the Kindle scene, the Kindle linguist, we call it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for our next bit, we need our director, who's going to be he will be getting the suggestion. What we're looking for is the title of a fantasy film, and Robin Warman will be directing this. So take it away, Cutter.
All righty, let's see what we've got here.
Title of a fantasy film. I see, there you go, Robin, take it away.
Title of a fantasy film. Let's see what suggestions you've got. Plans to reduce the air. Life beyond COVID. Yep, that's something we can all imagine. I think let's maybe go life beyond COVID, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's the one. And also we needed an obsession, I think, too. So life beyond COVID and an obsession for Robin.
Warts, that's good. Drinking, yep. Hair on my legs. Yeah, I think hair on my legs is feeling pretty funny. Let's go with that. So
Sometime after COVID and hair on my legs.
okay, and hair on my legs. Our first scene takes place in the strategy center of Fort Bragg. It is a place where the greatest minds of Mendocino come together, and they plot and consider and plan and sometimes dream what will be next after the COVID crisis. The first two individuals are in the room early.
I've got it figured that we're going to develop this area and to make it an eco park.
An eco park? I like that. It's got the word eco in it. That's got a good kind of eco-y je ne sais quoi about it. That's a French
Hey,
word.
Jim, have you ever noticed that the hair on your legs is growing through your pants? Your trousers are you're like Bilbo Baggins, for God's sake, Jim.
Chester, you know how I feel about The Hobbit.
Well, I know how you feel. I'm just telling you about your legs. People notice that kind of thing. We're trying to build a town here. The town.
I know we're trying to build a town, but I need you to focus up. I can't have you staring at my legs the whole time and how my hair protrudes through the fabric of my jeans. For the
Well,
love
when
of
we
God,
meet
can you
that
just-
when we meet that developer next week, you better have those hair leg trimmed.
Cut to
Don't tell
a
me.
styling salon in Fort Bragg, where we see the developer and the person treating their legs as they discuss.
So you want me to take all of the hair off of your legs?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, maybe not. Maybe not.
You want me to make it longer?
You know what I'd like? Remember all those movies from the 40s and the women had a stripe up the back of their leg?
Yeah, yeah.
From the nylons. I'd like you to take off all the hair except leave that dark stripe of hair. I really need to impress these people that I'm going to be meeting with my forward-looking views, because I really want that property.
That's pretty radical. I love it. I love it. That's a fantastic idea. And how sexy. Wow. We should hang out more often.
Oh, that would be fine with me.
Get ready. Here comes the wax. It's going to be a little warm.
Okay. Ah!
It's going to be worth it. Just think about how sexy that strip, that thin little strip of hair, it's going to show out of the back of your dress. Oh, you're going to be so hot. Everybody's going to be listening to what you have to say.
It hurts.
Suddenly, the members of the think tank previously enter the salon to try and pick up some advice on how best to remove hair from legs ready for the meeting.
That lady, that's the one who has legs as hairy as you, Jim. You should do what she says. She's the developer.
Well,
Wait a minute. We've met before.
yeah.
It was 5 years ago at the Hairy Leg Convention. You know that.
Thank God. You've infiltrated us.
Yes. What else can a woman do when she's trying to build her career and buy property at reasonable prices from people who are honest?
True.
Nobody said anything about honesty. Sorry. Was there an outside
I've,
voice?
I've always tried to be honest.
Cut
just-
outside, where we see two people who are both equally honest and perfectly hairless in the leg department.
You know, since I got to be Medicare age, I hardly have any hair left anywhere except this. You know, nobody tells you that when you're young, that eventually no underarm hair, no leg hair, no very little hair otherwise.
I was blessed though with great genetics, really. From an early age, we realized that the hair was amazingly so fine you could hardly see it, and especially on my legs. I've been very happy with those. Been blessed.
And you, David, you've lost all your hair, but how are your legs?
My legs is the only place I can still grow it, that and my nose. But I have to tell you guys one thing that may kind of put a damper on things, if you will. Did you hear about the name change for Fort Bragg? They're changing it to Port Hairy Leg.
Well, don't we get to vote on that?
We should.
Would
we
you?
should.
No.
I was kind of wanting to go for something like Merkin City.
Merkin City. Well, that's all right. How about
Up to
Land?
Fort Bragg HQ think tank, where everybody is participating, discussing the future names of the town.
Now, I know that there's been a lot going around here about my
Oh,
leg
boy.
hair density.
No
God.
more hairy legs around here.
You know, I never felt so much hatred until now. I'm just saying we need to consider the possibility of name changing. And I'm not saying it needs to be hairy legs. We can consider other things like hairy backport or possible mustache hair.
I think it's reasonable to come to the conclusion that Fort Hairy Legs has a preponderant majority and that we should go.
Pluckville, Pluckville.
What about stylish hair legs or like styly hair town?
How about Little Shaver?
Damn it, we can't get anything done around here.
Harry Styles.
Everybody just calm down, calm down. One of the things that the less popular vote, but still I think deserves a second look is what about plucked eyebrow tin?
Ooh,
Scissorland.
I like that.
Yeah.
Scissorland.
Cut outside, where we see the group now reformed together, united, chanting and protesting towards heading to the town hall and determined in order to change the name and taking action.
Change the name.
Change the name.
Change the name.
Change the name.
Okay.
Braxton Bragg was a war criminal.
Boo! Yeah, Fort Bragg.
I also see
Scissorland.
the final name has now been changed to Fort Follicle. I just saw it on the suggestions list.
No,
Oh, hey.
forever.
And curtain.
And curtain. Thank you
Follicle.
very much.
Very good, guys. Very good.
Yeah, I think
Good
that's
jo-
our
good
new
job,
record for
birthday.
most people on stage. So there we go.
Good
Good.
job, birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Happy
right. Ladies and
birthday.
gentlemen, I want to point out that it is birthday. A round of applause for Robin Warman, whose birthday is indeed June 20th. Let's hear it for Robin.
Happy birthday, Robin.
Happy birthday.
And a special thank
It's
you
the
to Robin's
brightest
mom.
12-year-old I've ever met. So very nice, Robin.
Robin,
Thank you.
well done at getting a year older. You nailed it.
Yes.
Well,
Well, we'd like to bring
quite-
Joshua back now, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to bring Joshua back and we're going to do what they call a scene 2 music. And what might be a potential, very nice background, Joshua. What might be a potential reason for a family squabble? A reason for a family squabble. And what's going to happen is the players are going to start a scene. Joshua will break in with some music. The mood may be altered. The characters may be changed. They'll go back to the scene. Joshua will break in again, and so on. I see cheating at Scrabble. I see money. I see you take too long in the bathroom, religious affiliations, the game Risk, new pet or first pet, vegetables to grow. That sounds like a good one to me. So there's a squabble over which vegetables to grow, and we've got Joshua accompanying this.
It's a vegetable Scrabble squabble.
There you go.
My day, there was never any question about what vegetables to grow. I don't understand you young ones. You don't appreciate the wisdom of the ages.
Oh,
You're ready
Grandma, we do. I've listened to you all your life. I try my best to follow what you have to say. I went out yesterday, planted those seeds you gave me, your special seeds.
Yeah, they started sprouting already. Actually, I saw some little tiny green shoots.
That's because you use those fancy new chemicals.
Chemicals.
Yeah, the green grow.
We were planting an organic garden.
But this was the kind of vegetable that you smoke.
Oh,
That kind.
they're so pretty though. Look at all those green shoots out there now.
Is that arugula? No? Oh, okay.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What's happening out in the garden? I can hear something. What is it? What?
But here, it's going for the shoots that are coming up.
What is it?
It's the jackrabbit.
Oh no!
The big one.
Big jackrabbit. Who's got?
No.
Let me get my gun again. Let me go get my gun.
Don't shoot it. We want to save the little furry creatures. No.
Don't be
Can't
ridiculous.
stand those things.
Oh,
Did I get it? Did I?
yes, you did. There's red smear right across those little shoots now.
Well, oatmeal is really good for plants.
And curtain. Thank you, Joshua.
All
Thank you
right,
very
everybody.
much. Take it away,
Thank you
Dan.
to Joshua Raoul Brody. Right on. Also, by the way, I have to note that I saw in the comment section someone said hunting wabbits, and was I the only one that immediately started singing "Killed a Wabbit"?
Me too.
If you're a Looney Tunes fan, you know what that is. So now we're going to move on to another game, one of my favorites of all time, game we call Alphabet Genre, which we take a genre and then a letter of the alphabet, which for those of you who are unfamiliar, the alphabet is a series of letters that if you string them together, they become words. Words become sentences. It's a huge thing. So for this, I'm going to need Doug and Mindy. And also, I would like a genre that induces high drama. I saw Next Generation Toilet Paper. That's not a genre, but I like where you're going with that. Oh, Keystone Cops. That's kind of fun. Let's keep a few more going here. I'd like to build up a little bit of a panel. Oh, you know what? I love it. Let's do hospital drama, and I need a letter of the alphabet. We're starting with K. So we have hospital drama and the letter K. Take it away.
Kathleen, you let me down in the surgery today. I glanced at you and flirted, and you ignored me.
Leonard, please stop with the flirting, okay? We're at work. This is important work that we do.
May I remind you that I got you this job at St. Elizabeth's, and you became my assistant, and you owed me things.
Never let me forget it, do you?
Oh, I love you dearly, and you know that. You know that. Please, you, Kathleen, you.
Perhaps after work today, I'll let you touch my hand.
Quit playing hard to get, Kathleen. You know how romantic we are together.
Oh, you rascal, you. Don't forget that we're still at work, Leonard.
So what? I say so what? I've loved you long enough. I feel for you, and there's no reason these people can't know.
Trouble is what you're going to bring to me. Talking like that here at the hospital.
Ululations, it is said, you know, those things, they said that they're originally meant to be a romantic call, and I'm ululating you right now, deep in my heart.
Very charming you are, I must admit, but I just don't want to get caught.
Why think of getting caught when you can think of all the love it would bring you, all the wonderful feelings you'd have in your heart, how much you'd be passionate for the other person? Kathleen.
Xylophonic operas might be nice to go to together this weekend. Maybe it's not always just us touching. Why don't you take me to a xylophonic opera?
You and your magnificent musical references. And you know, it's so nice that here we have a musician in every room who plays along and doesn't mind that we're talking romance.
Zaire is another place where you could take me. You know, we don't always have to just make out in the medicine room of the hospital. Xylophonic operas in Zaire, maybe something exciting like that might get me hot.
And Zaire is a wonderful idea, Kathleen. I think that we should go to Zaire next week and make love and then go to Rwanda.
Baby, that sounds great. I've got next week off.
Can you imagine strolling the streets of Mombasa and then arriving in some African town at a hospital and making Google eyes at each other?
Don't I know it? That sounds like a lot of fun. You're making me very excited, Leonard.
Even in Africa, I won't be able to stop adoring you. I'll just love every minute.
Frankly, to tell you the truth, I think about you all the time. Every day, every hour.
Go away. You don't think about me all the time, do you? Just most of the time.
Heavens no, all the time. I just want to be alone with you and away from all these prying eyes. They're so curious. Everyone wants to see us make love.
I don't blame them. And I share your love of you, and I share our love of this hospital.
Just let me do this last operation. And then we can go away somewhere quietly.
Kathleen, that would make my heart break.
Nice.
And curtain.
Very nice.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And folks, we're glad you've stuck around because we've come to our last bit of the evening. This will be, what we'd like for this one is a big or ordinary event in our present situation. So there's a lot going on. We'd like to have different characters comment on that big event and see what we come up with. So what might be a big or event in this time? Grandson's circumcision, grocery run. I'm seeing lots of stuff here. Graduation, there you go. Yellowstone explodes. That's quite something.
Really going hard on the G.
Well, how about that Yellowstone explodes? That seems like something that, you know, they talk about the blowing up the western half of the United States. So that might be something. So we're going to see a variety of monologues, a variety of characters talk about Yellowstone exploding, and they'll have a variety of perspectives. So let's go ahead and take it away. Ladies and gentlemen, a stream of different monologues on Yellowstone exploding. This is what we call monologue rant.
I tell you what, I've been telling everybody for years that Yellowstone was gonna explode. I was just hoping that I was gonna die before it happened. Now here I am, 100 years old. Now the sky's all black. Now I can't even grow no vegetables. Everybody's trying to steal everything I got. This is horrible. Just kill me. Just
Cut
kill
to
me.
Dan.
Now, it was in my 4th year that I discovered that my love of demolition was truly taking over. And the first thing that I thought of was, well, to blow up Yellowstone. That just seemed like the natural order of things. And especially since there was so much land to work with, the absolute demolition and destruction of Yellowstone seemed to be a natural course.
Cut to
did
Janet.
notice.
It was on the travels around the USA. I remember on my gap year from school that I remember I was hitching up the road there. I think it was California on my way north, and I realized things were not as they were supposed to be.
Cut to Kathy.
I can't believe that we came all the way from New York to get away from COVID, and we wind up in the car breaking down right when Yellowstone just blows up. I never heard of Yellowstone. Who gives about some steam and some buffalo? I just want to go back to New York and take my chances with the virus.
Cut to Robin.
I've been living in this bunker since 1948. Now, I never thought that I would be here because of Yellowstone blowing up. I thought that it might be the Cold War or just earthquakes or, you know, COVID-19 even. I predicted that before that happened, but I mean, I just didn't think that it would be something as big as Yellowstone blowing up. I mean, there's always a conspiracy. So I feel like I got to get to the bottom of what caused this. I think somebody put some kind of charge down there.
Cut to Jill.
Groovy, another explosion. I just love all the colors, the things. It reminds me of my high school days, my college days in the 60s. So much fun.
Cut to Ken.
Fake news. First it's COVID, then it's Yellowstone explosion. It's all a false flag to get us all to get behind some kind of idea that there's some kind of climate change. That's not happening. It's not happening. We need clean coal. That's
Cut
what
to Dan. Cut to Dan, Professor.
And as much as I enjoyed the concept of actually demolishing Yellowstone, I was actually surprised to find out that it already did have its own destruction underway, a bit of water that just comes right out of the ground periodically. And I thought, my goodness, demolition be damned. Water
Cut to acid
radically
head
coming out of-
Jill.
Yeah, well, you know, the last time I dropped, I saw so many explosions, and now I don't even have to drop. It's just happening all around me. It's so cool. I like this a lot.
Cut to hayseed Mindy.
I swear I told all them kids about this going on. All these crazy people out here now, all these scientists working on their bombs and making all these viruses floating all around. You know, it was better in the good old days when all you had to worry about was locusts. That's all I had to worry about.
Cut to fake news Ken.
As soon as my name is Alex Jones, I'm going to be eating my neighbors. I don't care if Yellowstone blows up or not. I'm eating some neighbors right now. And if you don't
Cut to
like
Robin.
See, I think everyone out there is probably going to be acting all surprised and eating their neighbors or taking drugs and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. They probably feel like this whole thing's a big old inconvenience. Well, it's not an inconvenience when you've been planning for this to happen your whole life. And, you know, now I know the loneliness and the sacrifice. It's been worth it. It's been worth it.
Cut to Janet traveling.
And that's when I bumped into this tie-dye chanting group, and they gave me these little pills, and it opened my eyes to the world. And I suddenly realized what a beautiful planet we're living in. And my peace nation began. We traveled up to Yellowstone. There was the geyser that it just kept going and going, changing colors. It looked like a lava lamp. I didn't know what was happening.
Cut to Professor Dan.
Well, now it seems that Yellowstone has its own demolition under control with the whole water spouting out of the ground. I have now turned to excessive drug taking and neighbor eating as a pastime.
And curtain. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's been our show for tonight. Let's hear it for our wonderful tech meister, Marshall Downtown Brown. Let's hear it for Marshall.
Marsh.
Let's also hear it for Jill Lemos, ladies and gentlemen. Jill. Ben Krause. Kathy O'Grady.
Thank you.
Mindy Ballantyne.
Yeah, Mindy.
Ann Sullivan.
Hey, Dan.
And Dan.
Janet Atherton.
And Janet.
Yeah, Janet.
Everybody was great.
Robin Warman.
Robin, good direction.
Woo!
And on piano, the fabulous, the wonderful Joshua Raoul Brody.
And Doug Nunn, everyone.
Doug.
Doug, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a wonderful time with you, and we went over and we're happy to do it. Jill's got a couple of grandkids there. We would
Just got home.
We would also gladly answer questions for a few minutes if anybody has any. And we want to remind you that we'll be back doing this again on Saturday, August 1st, with Joshua playing with us and with Marshall running tech. So once again, thank you to everybody who's come. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Doug, another reminder would be if people want to contribute to this ongoing online improv party, you can do that to my PayPal account at birdhaus@mcn.org. That's through PayPal. Or Doug, what's your PO box?
P.O. Box 1353 in Mendocino, 95460.
It's not required, but it's always appreciated.
Zoom me.
And I
Yeah.
also take Bitcoin.
You
Yeah.
speculator, you.
We also want to mention again that it's Robin, the fabulous Robin Warman. It's his birthday. I believe he's only, like I said, 12 years old. Amazing.
If anyone
Yeah.
wants
5 at the age
any
of 12.
birthday
So.
presents, then please send to the address in the chat window.
Great. And we also want to mention that Joshua, of course, is playing all the way from San Francisco. So the wonders of the technology, of course, I'm in Fort Bragg. How about we have everybody say where they are? Joshua, you start.
I am in Bernal Heights, and I got to tell you, the drive is a lot easier.
I'm in Fort Bragg, California.
Soon to be known as Noyo. I'm from Little River.
I'm in Casper.
I am in Doug Nunn's living room.
Which is
I am
in
in,
Barstow.
just like a couple of streets north of Fort Bragg, just a little outside of town.
There you go.
I'm at the Rosebud Motel.
I'm down Highway 20 in Fort
I-
Bragg, outside of Fort Bragg.
I'm off of Little Lake Road on Gurley Lane in a lava lamp.
That's great. Good.
Lilliputian.
Good. I just appreciating some of the comments. I see Jim Gibson has said in about multiple languages, happy birthday to Robin, Feliz Cumpleaños, Feliz Aniversario, blah, blah, blah.
That's
So
very thorough. Thank you.
I can throw it in German too. Herzlichen Glückwünsche zum Geburtstag. There you go. So that's one, there's another one for you.
I'll do it in gibberish. Galabobambalimamama.
How you look?
Yeah. It's great to
Nice
see you.
wigs, Mom. It says nice wigs, Mom.
I just read that.
I was also going to mention, I don't know, Joshua, do you know the actor Liev Schreiber? Do you know who he is? Dan, we're just saying Dan Sullivan bears a striking resemblance to Liev Schreiber at this point. Thank you, Emily, for coming, by the way.
He's not really Dan Sullivan. We really have a star with us.
Yeah.
You know, as much as I love watching Ray Donovan, I always get hyper embarrassed because I'm always like, oh no, it's a fun show to watch. And then I always see that meme that says, Ray Donovan, when your dad wants to be a superhero.
That's great. So Robin, what are you doing tonight for your big birthday?
That is a good question. I think I'm gonna have a chilled night in, you know, keeping in the theme of things as of late. But there's a very nice smell wafting in that's been a little bit distracting of a birthday cake that's being baked in the background.
Oh, that's great. And that's
right
your
on, man.
Should
That's
be-
wonderful. What are you having for your birthday cake?
So this is something which I don't know if people in America will be familiar with. It's called banoffee pie, and just can't get it here. It's so good. It's there you go. Sounds coming from the other English person. It's just a fantastic mix of like caramel, cream, banana, like a biscuit base. It's just. I try my luck maybe once a year, and that might be pushing it a bit much, but yeah, my wife has agreed to make it for me today.
That's
Oh,
great.
Nice.
what a
Banoffee pie.
star. We got to cheer for her.
Yay, babe.
For
Yeah,
Robin's
no,
wife. Wow.
So is it
Yeah.
is it curbside pickup if we want to come by for a piece?
Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah, I'll be on the one if you just look on the left.
I'm just noticing one person is writing banana plus toffee equals banoffee. Is that how they came to the? Is that how they came? Is
I
that
think
Joshua writing?
that is maths right there, or math as you guys would say. Sorry, I had to translate. So you understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys pluralize it.
I mean, there's more than one.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, if anybody else has any questions from the audience, we just want to remind you we'll be on again on Saturday, August 1st. So I guess it's about 6 weeks from now. And thank you so much, everybody, for coming. It's
Yeah.
great to see people returning. Thank you.
Yes.
Many of the Valentines and the Lemuses, that's for sure.
I have a
That's good.
question for Jill. What's your granddaughter's name?
This is Jocelyn.
Hi,
Hi,
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn.
They were at Pudding Creek Beach during the show. They just got back just during our final bows.
Cool.
Yeah,
Great. That's good.
they're gonna
Did
watch it on YouTube. It
did
just
your-
feel like with kids and dog and action that, you know, there might be too much noise.
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. So is it on YouTube now? Can people that were out and weren't watching the show live, is it now recorded on YouTube and is it available?
It's still being recorded as we speak.
Marshall, are you there? Marshall, you there? It'll be up. Marshall's
It'll
just
be up.
saying over here.
That's what she said.
Okay. Well, in that case, do you guys want to go and have a short meeting then?
Take a lap, you know what you did.